Hello and welcome. I'm Elaine Canyon, sweetly writing happily ever after one book at a time. And in this video, we're building your cover design toolbox. Today we're talking about color. I love color in design. It's one of my favorite parts of design. It is also one of the most in-depth and detailed and massive topics that you can study in design. There is so much that goes in to understanding color. So this video will be the first in several that I'm going to make about understanding color, specifically understanding it for your cover design. So today we're just going to do an introduction. I'm going to introduce you to color and some of the words that we use in design when we're talking about it. And then there will be other videos that I'll post later that will go into more depth about how to combine color, understanding the emotions that color can bring forward so you can better communicate to your target audience, and make sure that your cover is communicating the message you want it to your readers. So if you want to know how to use color better in your cover designs, whether you're doing it yourself or working with a cover designer, make sure you hit that subscribe button. To start, we've got to go all the way back to elementary school. We're going to start with the color wheel. The basic color wheel consists of the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, the three secondary colors, green, orange, and purple, and then the 6 tertiary colors that are made by mixing your primary and secondary colors together. This color wheel is going to be your best friend. And we can make it larger. When you mix those tertiary colors with your secondary and your primary colors and with themselves, you make it bigger and you make it bigger and it moves out from there. But this basic color wheel is what I will use to help you understand color and using it in book cover design. Now that we have our color wheel, there are certain qualities or properties that a color can have. And in design, we use 3 terms to talk about those qualities. The first is hue. Your hue is the color in full vibrancy or full saturation, which leads us to our next term, saturation. Saturation is how dull or vibrant a color is. The last one is value. Value tells us how light or dark a color is. And value is what leads us into 3 more properties that we use when we're talking about color in design. The first is shade. Shade is when you add black to a hue. So if I take blue and I start adding a little black and adding a little black, it gets darker as I go. So I'm affecting the shade of the color. Then there's tint. Tint is the opposite of shade. It's adding white to a color. So if I take red and I add a little bit of white and I add a little bit of white and I add a little bit of white, I'm slowly making it pink. And then I'll slowly make it white. The same with shade. As I add black, I'm slowly making it black. So tint and shade are the opposite of each other. We're either adding white or we're adding black to a specific hue that we have. The last property that goes under value is tone. Tone is when you add gray to a color, which does some really interesting things. And we'll get into those a little bit later in another video, but just know that hue is the color, saturation is the vibrancy, value is how light or dark it is, and we can adjust value with shade by adding black, tint by adding white, or tone by adding gray. Now there's one more thing that we're going to cover in this video. And like I said, this is an introduction. Don't worry, there will be a lot more to cover in future videos. But I want to talk about medium here. The medium is the form your design piece is taking. So for us, that's book covers. As authors, we're designing or working with a designer to create a book cover. In cover design, an ebook or an audiobook has a medium of a screen. This is a digital medium. That's going to change what kind of coloring we use. If we're talking about our physical books, that's called a print medium. Our print medium uses a separate color grouping than our screens do. Digital medium uses what's called RGB colors. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. This is how color is created using light on your screens. So the phone that you're watching on or the computer that you're watching this on right now is going to be using light for all of the colors that are in this video. If you add these 3 colors of light together, you get the color of white light. And then as you want different colors, you adjust how much red, green, or blue is in the color. We cannot use RGB colors in a print medium because a physical book is not giving you color based on light. A physical book is giving you color based on a print of ink that comes together. We call this CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, which is a kind of blue, magenta, yellow, and the K stands for black. We make these colors by pulling colors out of them. So these 4 colors together obviously are black. And then as I pull color away, specifically that black, I can change the color. So in RGB, we're adding RGB together to get closer to white. And in CMYK, we subtract colors from each other to get away from black. RGB colors will always be more vibrant than CMYK. You also have a broader selection of colors in RGB than you do in CMYK. I'm bringing this up with you because it matters what medium you're using. Creating an ebook cover or an audiobook cover in RGB colors and then trying to take that and saying, oh, well, I'll just convert these all to CMYK colors and print them, often doesn't work. They're 2 different color sets and they're created in different ways. Now, that's not to say that print medium can't have beautiful and vibrant colors. I'm sure that you've seen as many as I have seen where you can get almost neon colors in print. But if at any point in time you think you're going to turn your book cover from only an ebook cover or only an audiobook cover into a print book cover, it is best to start with CMYK colors in the first place and focus on creating a book cover that you love that already has the correct color basis for CMYK, because converting CMYK to RGB works beautifully every time, almost without fail. There are exceptions, as there are in everything. But being able to move from RGB to CMYK almost never works the way you want it to. All of this to say is to keep your medium in mind. If you ever have any intention of going from completely digital to having a print copy of your book, make sure that you're using the correct color set. This is where we're going to stop today. I've given you a lot of really technical information. I promise it gets better from here and less technical. This is the basis that you need to be able to understand how to combine colors correctly and how to use colors in things like color psychology. The next video, we're going to talk about combining colors and finding combinations that work well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss that. Hit the like button to help other people find this video. If you think it helped you, I'm sure it can help another author out there as well. I'd love to hear from you, different color combinations you've seen in book covers that you liked, or color combinations you've seen in book covers that you feel just didn't work. I hope you'll subscribe. I post videos every Wednesday about cover design, like this one, discovery writing, and self-publishing on a teeny tiny budget. I hope to see you back next time.